Okay, guys, I thought it was going to work. The first part looks like I am able to release because it looks like the algorithm is good at tracking the amount of time that you're using on specific piece of work, which is great. That's good to know. I learned, like I said, I'm just starting to do this, and I thought I would have to like track it myself, but the algorithm tracked it itself. Like it, when I did the first part, I broke it into four parts just to see if it would work, and the first part uploaded just fine, and that's the one I'll be releasing. Sorry about the echo. I forgot I left my speaker on. I'm sorry about that. But a lot of it is filled with my commentary, which cuts the time of the usage of the content for Bohemian Rhapsody down. And I thought maybe it counts as one video, so it's 10 minutes per video. So when I did the second, third, fourth part, the algorithm was able to figure out that I had already used 10 minutes of my time on that movie and has blocked the rest so that so even if there's like another 10 minutes, another 10 minutes, and another 10 minutes, and the other three videos, separate videos, it's still taking into account that I've used my time's up for using that content. So that's pretty cool that it tracks all that itself. It goes through and does its thing. But unfortunately, you guys don't get to see it, and I don't know if you want to see it like the full thing. I had it in my back pocket, like I talked about when you see this one, the one I just did. I talked about keeping it for like Patreon because I've seen that people have that on there, like the full layout. But oof, with the echo and stuff, I don't even know if I want to post that. And even if like I said, there's still more to learn down that road. But I just wanted to get on here with an explanation video, just kind of like let you guys know that, I did see the movie. So unfortunately, you don't get to see all the reactions to it, which are, I give a lot of good input that kind of comes from watching it, different things that throughout. My big takeaway, it was really well done. I really learned a lot about Freddie Mercury from that film that I didn't know. Like I said, everything was just what I've heard through the grapevine about these guys and the music that I've heard from them. And so just going into this steep detail of his background, his family, um, kind of what his struggle, what he goes through with his loneliness, things that he's facing because of his sexuality. And I'm sure there was laws out at that time. They didn't go really, they didn't delve deep into that about you obviously, it wasn't accepted and it was like an underground thing. And still it still is in many cases. There's some public arenas. Like I said, I live in the Bay Area, so there's some areas that it's definitely open. It's an open area for folks to do that, and it's becoming more of an accepted thing these days. I guess everyone's just kind of not tripping out over it as much as they used to, which is a good thing. It's kind of like, hey, it gives you the freedom to explore that if that's what you want. Um, but at the same token, everything, my takeaway from it after watching the whole thing like last night, it's just really cemented. It really brought home like how special this is that Adam Lambert is now part of this, and that the big takeaway for me from watching that is kind of what they were all saying in the film when they were trying to talk to the label guy, whoever his name was. I think it was John Reed, or sounds like he did a lot of work with other amazing artists too, and he obviously had his what you call he had his little contentions with the band, like he didn't like that, he wanted more formulaic. And a lot of us know that from the music industry. We hear radio stuff and we can tell when something's formulaic, or we can tell when a movie's formulaic. It's commercialized, it's pushed on to everyone. I think everyone's wise enough to catch on to that, like they can tell they're just following a formula because it worked and it produces numbers, and people can sense that, and it sort of kills the industry a little bit, kind of kills their credibility when they're, because then now they're like putting like millions of dollars, and just because they can spread that just because they have control of the networks and can go out there and just tell everyone how great this film or whatever this music is or whatever it is just because they have the power to do that doesn't make it so. Like they run into their own, they've stabbed themselves with their own sword doing that a couple times. It loses public trust when they're going 5 stars, most amazing film, and they know it's not 5 stars. And when you go and you know from seeing it, it's not. then you start questioning like, hey, these guys are a bunch of crooked. You lose trust, you lose public trust. What I loved about these artists, they were original. Freddie just talked about that. They don't want the formula thing, and they know that. That's what the people don't want. That we don't want that. We don't want no formula. We like different forms of art. We like to see like something created, that's new, like he did with that song, um, the Bohemian Rhapsody, which is what the movie's named after. And that song is the most amazing song ever created, right? Because they went outside of the formula. And that's another thing I liked about the show was what they were saying. Queen, what does it mean? It's undefined. They're trying to say there's no definition. You can't put them in a box. You can't say this is what Queen is, right? And just knowing that that's kind of what their whole mission statement is, like who they are as a band, who they are and what they stand for. It's cool now that Adam Lambert is here, part of this band, because again, who's to define Queen by Freddie now? Even Freddie himself saying that's the point. Queen was meant to be undefined. It was supposed to not have any sort of like formula or limit. Like the formula is now with Freddie. No, Queen is undefined. And still Roger and Brian are there, which is amazing. I don't know about the bass player, but I was wondering who that was and where he went. But he's the one that came up with the bass line for Junkyard, I call it Junkyard Dog. Another one bites the dust. It looked like, according to the movie, it looked like he wrote that. And then I didn't know about We Will Rock You. I didn't know Brian came up with that idea. Of course, they worked together on the lyrics and, the performance. And man, you can tell just together they like, it was unfortunate he fell away. I didn't know about what he did over there in Munich with this other guy that he took off with and went down this other rabbit hole, and definitely wasn't good for him. It took him down the wrong path. Took him away from his family basically. But as all people tend to do that when you have family, you tend to leave and go out on your own and test the waters, and you either come back or you figure your thing out. But that girl, his girl Mary, came to his rescue, and that was an interesting thing too. I just that whole relationship and just everything in it was really good. I'm glad I saw it, because now like the next video I already got ready. I'm sorry guys, I didn't have anything go out because I have a lot of content now that I'm filling up, so I'm starting to create more of a pipeline of content. Being new to this game, I was just uploading everything and anything that I was putting in. I was going, let's go, and it's kind of like I'm stream of conscious, just doing it, and then really nothing in the pipeline to like deliver if something goes dry. So now I'm happy to report I do have a bunch in the pipeline here that I'm ready to push out, but I'm going to take it in stride. It's easier for me to build on a lot of the requests you guys are putting out there for me, so I can just keep putting that content in place. And then as I time release them, I'm still going to release quite a bit per day, just because, like I said, I'm a definite huge connoisseur, especially of this one, especially this particular artist and Adam, and then also with Queen combined. Like I said, being undefined along with Adam, for me, what I mentioned at the end of the one that's blocked, I mentioned that I am going to make it the playlist for Adam Lambert, and then I'm going to put in parentheses Queen. Not to take away from Queen, they're huge. It's just I came into this game learning about Adam, and there's stuff he's